Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be update number 4 for my Pandas Eyeshadows 2020. I did do this project last year in 2019 and you can find those videos in the playlist linked down below. This project was created by Alexi and so many people have been doing it the last couple of years and it seems like everyone does it a little bit differently. I'm randomizing 5 eyeshadows for my whole collection. The goal is to hit pan on them or use them 30 times. Today's update is so exciting for me. I'm rolling in 2 new shades, which for me, that never happens. I'm usually lucky to roll in 1. I'm very light-handed with my makeup. I'm working with a lot of eyeshadows, the 5 in this project and 7 in other projects. So I'm a little busy, but yes, 2 new shades this update, which feels really good. Before going through my progress on all of my shades, this is my color story that I've been working with over the last month. As you can see, there are a lot of colors, which is making this project very challenging for me. But let's just jump right into the progress on my eyeshadows. I'm going to go in the order, so the ones that have been in the project for the longest down to the ones that were pulled in most recently. Starting with my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette, I'm working on shade number 30, which is a deep, well, like deep, it's not that deep, the deepest shimmery green in this palette right here. And as you can see, there is pan. That is super exciting to me, and you probably can't see from this distance, but I will have close-ups of course. This took 16 uses. These eyeshadows are very small. I mean, they're like the size of my fingertip, so 16 uses to hit pan on that shade. I am so over green looks, let me tell you. With colorful eyeshadows, trying to pan them is really hard for me. It's not like a neutral brown you can throw in your crease every day and still get a lot of varied looks. Such a vibrant color just takes over. Yes, I paired it with oranges and purples and a variety of different colors. Definitely check out my Instagram for more looks beyond the ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But anyways, I'm so glad that I finally hit pan in this eyeshadow. I'm so excited. Next, my Alamar Reina del Caribe Volume 1 palette. I'm working on the shade El Malecón, this metallic, like goldish green kind of color. I did use this 4 additional times over the last month, so I've used it 14 times in this project. There is a dip in there. I don't think I'm really close to pan at all, but I really love this shade. It is beautiful. This shade did pair really beautifully with the green from BH Cosmetics. One of my favorite looks, I will just quickly tell you, was having this really intense in the inner corner, and I think I'm going to play around with that a little bit more. At first I thought it was a bit too deep to do that. It's not really a light shade. But yeah, I'm excited to continue to play with this. 15, is that what I said? 15, 14 uses, something like that. That's a pretty good start. Next is the Sephora Pro palette. This is the warm version. I'm working on shade 15, which is called Hazelnut. And I've officially used this 30 times, so I'm ready to roll it out. If I hit the 30 uses mark and there's a huge dip in an eyeshadow, I will push through and hit pan on it, because ultimately I want a lot of pans in my collection. But I have that rule for cases like this. So I'm going to insert a comparison of what this eyeshadow looked like at the beginning in January and then what it looks like now after 30 uses, and I'm sure you'll be able to tell that there is not a lot of progress on it. And I use quite a bit of this shade. I use it as my first transition shade. I use it to blend things out. It's not something that I'm just using the tiniest bit of. Like, that was 30 really solid uses. And there is the teeniest, tiniest dip, if you could even call it that. I'm excited to roll this out. It was a really good shade to pair with a lot of the colors that I'm working on. But yeah, 30 uses was enough. This would be a shade that I would have to work on for probably the whole year in order to hit pan on it, and I want to share the love across more palettes than that. I did not remove this from my spreadsheet, so there's a very slim chance that it could get pulled in again, and I will again do 30 more uses and see where that takes me because there's no actual pan in it. But yes, this is the second shade that I am rolling out. Next, my NYX Ultimate Brights palette. I'm working on shade number 1, the shimmery red shade. I did not use this at all over the last month. I was really focused on that green shade, on knocking that out, and if I wasn't doing a really green look, I was doing a really neutral look, which I'm sure you could tell from my videos and like my makeup today. So I have not been focusing on this red shade. And lastly, for my Urban Decay Born to Run palette, I'm working on the shade Guilt Trip, which I did use 3 times over the last month, making a total of 6 uses in this project. This was rolled in a couple of months ago, and Guilt Trip is this purple shade. So again, another colorful shade. I was talking to Rebecca Morgan about approximately how many uses it took her to hit pan. Because she has quite a few pans in her Born to Run palette now, and it looks like between the 30 and 40 use mark. So again, 30 uses at least before I can roll this out, but if there's a huge dip in it at that point, then I will push for pan in for like another 10 or so uses approximately. Of course, those were her numbers. That doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen for me. But for right now, there's really no dip happening in here. Again, I've only used it 6 times. Now on to the really exciting part, 2 new shades. I'm always like really ecstatic, is that the word? Enthusiastic. I'm really excited to roll in new shades, but I'm also a little worried. So let me pull my super loud computer a little bit closer. So in my Pretty Random app, I have in the numbers 2 to 632. I do not have the palettes in here that I have not yet hauled for you guys. So right now I have 631, technically, 631 eyeshadows in my collection that are eligible. That means they do not have pan on them. So let's select 2. 472 and 415. Interesting. So let me see. You have got to be kidding me. Oh boy. I think my Pretty Random app and my Excel spreadsheet are conspiring against me. I haven't even looked at the shades because I'm too scared. Okay. 472 comes from my Pure Cosmetics Festival palette. I actually have not used this palette yet. I have had this for quite a while. The shade is the 3rd shade, Good Vibes. Okay. Okay. This could have been so much worse. This palette smells really good. Okay, Good Vibes is this shimmery neutral, like brownish coppery type of shade. And as you can see, I was a little worried when I saw this pulled up. We have 2 pressed glitters over here and 2 very bright shades, but thank you, Pretty Random app, for giving me a shimmery neutral. Again, this has never been used before, so I have quite a while to go on it in order to hit pan, obviously. Okay. However, number 415 comes from my VH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And it's shade 29. I just panned shade 30. So, we have another shimmery green. I really don't want to cheat and roll again, but god damn it. Okay, I really like green makeup. It's not that. My husband hates green makeup, but it's just, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a cheater. 16 uses. I can do it. We have a kind of grungier, lighter, shimmery green. Okay, let me swatch my new color story. Okay, here is my new color story. I will have a closer up picture to the side of me. Still very colorful and all shimmer. Although the red kind of performs as a matte because it's not the greatest shimmer shade, but I don't have any matte shades. That green is a really interesting color. Like, I do like it, and I think it will pair nicely with the Alamar shade up here, which is good. Oh, that's so crazy. Why? I do really like the looks of that PUR Festival shade right here, the really warm coppery shimmer shade. I think that's going to work great in the summertime. I'm seeing some good pairings, potential pairings I should say. That is my new color story. Please leave your suggestions for combinations down in the comments below. That's one of my favorite things about going through the comments on these videos of mine. You guys come up with fantastic ideas, which helps me out so much. Now let's talk about goals. What is a shade that I think I could maybe hit pan on, or the 30 uses by the next update? The clear contender is obviously the Alamar Cosmetics shade, as I've used this the most times, but I really don't think the dip is that big on. I don't have my hopes up to like be able to roll out any shades next month, but we will see. I will continue to chug away at these eyeshadows. I want to use every eyeshadow at least 3 times in the next month. Especially this red shade. I really need to get working on this. I've only used it 6 times in this project. That makes me nowhere as close to my 30 uses goal, and I didn't use it at all this past month. So I really need to start focusing on this eyeshadow a little bit more. So the red and the Alamar shade have been in this project since the beginning, so these 2 are going to be my main focus, but I don't think I'll be able to hit pan on either of them in the next month, but these are going to be my focus. Well, that took a turn. I'm still really excited. Like, all jokes aside, I'm not like extremely bummed. It's going to be fine. I'm going to have fun. I just can't believe it. Out of all the neutrals I have in my whole collection, I just keep getting the brightest colors ever. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!